Most people think the American dream is dead because people got lazy. That's not it. The real problem is the price of a normal life keeps going up faster than most people can breathe. You can work hard, stay responsible, do everything right, and still feel behind. Rent is higher, groceries are higher, insurance is higher, and now the dream that used to mean stability feels more like survival. So if hard work still matters, why does life still feel this heavy? There are a lot of people walking around thinking they messed up their life financially. They blame themselves because they are not where they thought they would be. They thought by this age they would own a home. They thought by now the bills would feel lighter. They thought if they stayed responsible, stayed loyal, stayed patient, life would eventually calm down. But instead, a lot of people feel like they are running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. And that feeling is important because when millions of ordinary people feel like they are working harder and getting less, that is not just a motivation problem. That is a system problem. The old version of the American dream was built on one powerful idea. If you did the right things, your effort would create stability. Not luxury, not mansions, not private jets, just stability. A decent home, a little savings, a retirement that did not feel terrifying. A life where one bad month did not knock everything over. That is what people were really chasing. Not just wealth, peace. And that's exactly why this hits so hard today. Because what people are grieving is not just money. They are grieving how far responsibility used to go. There was a time when one steady income could carry a family much further. Not perfectly, not for everybody, and not equally, but further. Now, even two incomes can feel tight. And when that happens, people start getting confused. They think, maybe I need to work more, so they work more. Then they think, maybe I need to budget harder, so they cut more. Then they think, maybe I need a side hustle. So now they're tired, under pressure, and somehow still behind. That's when people start feeling shame. But shame is dangerous here, because shame makes you think the problem is only personal. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes the math really changed. Housing got heavier, rent got heavier, insurance got heavier, groceries got heavier, childcare got heavier, healthcare got heavier. Everything that keeps a normal life standing up got more expensive. And the scary part is, a lot of paychecks did not grow with the same energy. So now, people are not just trying to build a life, they're trying to defend one.
That is a completely different emotional experience. Building feels hopeful. Defending feels exhausting. That is why so many people look tired, even when they are doing what they are supposed to do. They are not lazy. They are carrying a more expansive version of normal. And one of the biggest lies people still believe is this: if I can just look stable, maybe I am stable. So they keep the car note. They keep the expensive phone. They keep stretching to live in the right neighborhood. They keep trying to perform a middle-class life that is getting harder and harder to afford, because nobody wants to feel like they are falling behind. But trying to look okay can quietly keep you broke. That is one of the most painful parts of this whole thing. A lot of people are not failing because they are reckless. They are failing because they are trying to maintain an image of normal that no longer fits the numbers. And older people feel this in a different way. A lot of them did what they were told. They worked for decades, they stayed loyal to jobs, they paid into systems. They believed if they just kept showing up, the future would eventually become safe. And now, some of them are looking up and realizing retirement feels too close and security still feels too far away. That hurts. Because it is one thing to struggle when you're young. It's another thing to do everything right for years and still feel uncertainty sitting in your living room with you. And younger people feel a different kind of grief. They look at older generations and think, how did they buy homes on regular jobs? How did one paycheck used to mean something different? How did life become this expensive? And when people cannot see a clear path forward, they stop dreaming big. They stop planning. They stop believing effort will compound into peace. That may be the biggest loss of all. Because the American dream was never just about money. It was about belief. Belief that your sacrifice meant something. Belief that being disciplined would eventually create room to breathe. Belief that if you were careful, life would become less fragile. When people lose that belief, they don't just become discouraged, they become numb. And numb people stop building. So, does that mean the dream is dead? Not exactly. But it does mean the old strategy isn't enough anymore. That's the part people don't want to hear. You cannot survive this economy on autopilot. You cannot just be hardworking. You have to be intentional now. You have to know where your money is going. You have to protect your fixed costs. You have to build savings on purpose. You have to stay away from high-interest debt like it's a fire. You have to stop using lifestyle upgrades as proof that life is improving. Because sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do financially is upgrade too early. The new version of the dream has to be more realistic. It has to be less about looking successful and more about being harder to break. That means the goal is not just a bigger paycheck. The goal is margin, breathing room, the ability to handle a surprise without panic, the ability to say no to debt, the ability to keep your home, your dignity, and your peace when life gets expensive.
That is what real progress looks like now. And for a lot of everyday people, the comeback starts smaller than they expected. Not with some huge investment move, not with some overnight breakthrough. It starts with honesty, real honesty. How much do I actually need every month? What is draining me? What do I keep paying for just to feel normal? What would my life look like if I stopped trying to impress people who are not paying my bills? That is where rebuilding begins. Then comes the practical part. Get the emergency fund started, even if it feels small. Cut the financial leaks that keep turning your income into smoke. Pay down the ugliest debt first. Automate something, even if it is not impressive. Learn how to live below your income without feeling ashamed of it. That last one matters, because a lot of people treat modest living like failure. It's not failure, it's strategy. A quiet life with savings is more powerful than a loud life with payments. And if you're older and feel like time got away from you, hear this clearly. Late is not the same as finished. You may not be able to use time the way a 25-year-old can, but you can still use clarity. You can still use discipline. You can still make your money stop leaking. You can still reduce chaos. You can still protect what you have left and build from here. That matters. And if you're younger, this is your warning. Do not copy lifestyles that were built in a different economy. Do not assume the old path will carry you automatically. And do not let appearances trick you. A lot of people who look fine financially are hanging on by threads you cannot see. So maybe the American dream doesn't work the way people were promised. Maybe hard work alone is no longer enough. Maybe being responsible is still necessary, but no longer sufficient. And maybe that truth hurts because it forces people to stop romanticizing the past and start dealing with the present. But there is still hope in that. Because once you stop chasing the old fantasy, you can build a real plan. A plan based on today's numbers, today's pressure, today's risks, and today's reality. That plan may look less glamorous. It may be slower. It may be quieter. But it's real. And real beats impressive every single time. At the end of the day, people don't need a dream that looks good in a speech. They need a life that holds up on a random Tuesday. They need bills that can be paid. They need food in the kitchen. They need a little cash in the bank. They need a future that doesn't feel like a cliff. That's the new dream now. Not perfection, not flexing, not pretending, just stability, ownership, peace, and room to breathe. And maybe that's not smaller than the old dream. Maybe it's more honest. Maybe the American dream doesn't need to disappear. Maybe it needs to be rebuilt from the ground up with truth, with discipline, with protection, and with a strategy that actually fits the world people live in now.